if you're not going to deal with putting Bolt or Grab on your phone, I understand that. Just try to avoid these guys that, again, are just hanging out, parked, waiting for you to walk up. Their meter's going to be broken 99% of the time. At the very least, just try to get at least a block or 2 blocks away from whatever touristy area you and myself find ourselves in, and try to find a guy who's moving, flag him down, and 80% of the time that guy will turn the meter on and at least give you a fair crack at a reasonable price. Again, I'm not trying to be a cheap Charlie and all that kind of thing. Yeah, $12, $13 is not unreasonable to drive 10 miles across town, but that's just not the price here in Bangkok. It's a lot less. So unless you're gonna only take 3 or 4 cabs on a visit over here, no big deal. But if you're coming for an extended visit or moving here, you kind of need to figure out how the system works, and these guys hanging out, they're not really the way to go unless you want to pay top dollar. In fact, the Bolt app gives you an option between taxi or private car, and 9 out of 10 times I pick taxi because my luck with the private car is it'll say private car is 4 minutes away. 4 or 5 minutes goes by, he cancels. The next car is 8 minutes away. Usually that one will show up, but sometimes you'll get 2 cancellations in a row. The taxi option is a little bit more, but not much. If the private car is 80 baht, the taxi might be 95 baht. So I always pick the taxi, and they are taxis. They're just also running the Bolt app, again, which is like Uber or Lyft. They're running that at the same time as they're trying to be a taxi cab. And once again, the Saladang BTS station, which is the above ground train, is down this way. Kind of a long block and a half, but there is a bridge that brings you over to the subway in 99% of the train, the MRT. So we're going to jump on the MRT and head to the Asok area, the Sukhumvit station. This is the Thai-Japanese bridge. And that would be a real plus if you had to live over here in the Siloam, Patpong area, is to kind of stay somewhere close to the Saladang or Siloam MRT. And you can just get anywhere in the city. The Asok Sukhumvit junction of the MRT and BTS, that's probably the one of the #1 areas of Bangkok just for ease of getting around the city on the train. But if you're going to ride the MRT, leave your durian at home. You'll actually see that sign everywhere in Thailand, at hotels, no durian. It's supposed to be super stinky. I don't think it's that bad. I tried it once. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you leave it laying around for a couple of days, it just smells horrible. There's a reason those signs are there. And I have a BTS card. I don't have an MRT card, so we'll just, it's in English. Let's see, well, we'll put it in English. And we are in Siloam. It already knows we're in Siloam. We're going to Asok, or actually Sukhumvit, to Asok on the BTS. One ticket is 24 baht. So there you go. Put your 24 baht in and it'll drop you a little coin. Just take your little poker chip and put it here. No, put it here. And off you go. The only tricky part is to get on the train going in the correct direction. And it tells you platform 1 and platform 2. Platform 2, it'll give you the highlights to Sukhumvit. That's exactly where I'm going. Or Rama 9, Hua Kwang. Hua Kwang, is that how you say that? But it'll give you some highlights like Sukhumvit's that way and Wat Man Kon is the other way. And I'm not entirely sure, but I think the MRT stops around midnight, just like the BTS, and it's 10 to 11. So the trains probably run a little less frequent, whatever that means, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, instead of every 3 minutes during rush hour. Again, these are just estimates, but they seem to be one train after another. It's a very good system. And here I am at Siloam. I'm going Lupini, Klung Toi, Queen, and then Sukhumvit, which is the Asok BTS connection. One rule you need to know about the train is over where that advertisement says 5G, right next to that lady, that's a priority seat. So when this train is packed at 5 p.m., if you plop down in that seat, you are 100% expected to jump up out of there when an older person gets on, or somebody with a cane, or a monk. Monks get priority seating on the trains. The other thing to look out for is, unlike the BTS, the doors open on either side depending on the station. It can open here, so just don't lean on that door. If you're asleep at the wheel, you'll pull up to the next station and tumble backwards. It's a very minor issue, but if you're looking at 2-3 buildings and you have a choice between, say, the BTS Sukhumvit light green line or an MRT line, I personally would always lean towards the BTS. It's 11 p.m. right now, that's why this train is empty, but I've just always had better luck. Now, again, maybe this is just a me thing with the BTS, and every time I get on an MRT at 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m., it's bumper to bumper people. I don't know if these trains run every 5 minutes compared to 3 minutes on the BTS. I don't know. Just keep that in mind. Come out here, visit, check out your trains, and an emptier train is better than a full train. When you're exiting the train, just follow the crowd. Now, I happen to know from experience that right when you go through here and go up, you're right by where the BTS is. But if, for instance, you wanted to go to Cowboy, you would have to go over there. No big deal. If you accidentally went over here, you can still go back down on the subway without paying and pop out over on the other side of the street. But just follow the crowd. 99% of the time, they're going to take you where you're going anyhow. And here in Bangkok anyhow, you can hear these announcements. They're in English. The signs are in English and Thai. They'll also do announcements in Thai. Hey, this is Thailand. Big surprise. But convenient for an English speaker like myself and maybe somebody watching. And again, you just take your little poker chip and it knows where you started and ended. So you put it in, you get an open gate, and that's it. No big deal. Wait in line like these 4 people. But the problem is, during rush hour, that line's going to be 30 people long. But wait in those lines and go up to the counter, give them your 500 baht note, and they'll, make you reasonable change as opposed to the automated machines on the wall. There is an MRT card, which I'm not exactly sure how it works. I don't ride the MRT all the time, so I don't bother with the card. I assume it's like my BTS Rabbit card, where you come up here, oftentimes with a passport. You need a passport for everything over here. Or maybe try a copy of your passport, a nice color copy. I don't like carrying my passport around, but when you get a BTS card, you need to go to the window with your passport. They enter your information. I think they might take 100 baht deposit, but I'm not positive. Put 1,000 baht on that thing if you're going to use it all the time like me, and hopefully 3-4 weeks later, you'll still have a little money on there. Put another 1,000 baht on there and keep moving. Each of these rides is like $1.50, a little less than $1. Depends where you're going. And you have your choice of the escalator. If you're in a wheelchair, I think there's elevators everywhere now. They're doing a much better job here in Bangkok. Or your kilocalories all the way to the top. So I don't know how much that's going to help me with the 3 pints I just had, but I'm taking the stairs. And some of these train stations are pretty big. So once again, when you're deciding where you're going to live, if it's I'll take the MRT 2 stops or 3 stops, get to the BTS, and then take that 5 stops. Keep in mind the transit in between the 2 trains. It might take you a good 10 minutes or a couple of football fields. One's a subway. What's going on over here? I hear a horn. One's the above ground and one's a subway, and oftentimes they're not quite 2 blocks away, but sometimes they're not super close. So here we are. This is the BTS Asok. And right here's Paula Pizza. It's all closed up for the night. One of my favorite pizza spots. Terminal 21, the mall, the movie theater, and I think bowling alley. I think there's a bowling alley there. It's still open, but the mall's closed. And just across the way in Sukhumvit, that is Soy Cowboy. Soy Cowboy. And if you wanted to get across this chaotic street, you can just go down into the subway station. It goes under the street and pops out right there where it says Metro Mall. So use these trains to navigate the busy Bangkok streets. Sure, you can queue up here and run across this road, but you'll see even when the light turns green, hey, the motorbikes don't really care about the lights. They just kind of keep going, and you better forcefully walk across. If you hesitate at all, 10 motorbikes will just go. Unlike many cities, including where I'm from in San Diego or even Los Angeles, those trains, they're almost a joke. We have a train in San Diego that goes by the airport. It doesn't go to the airport, it goes within a mile of the airport. Where here in Bangkok, everything is, I won't say easy, but at least it makes sense. The subway and the above ground train, the BTS, they meet at different connections to help you get around. The subway, like we're here at the above ground, the BTS, the subway's right down below. If you go one stop up to Phetchaburi, you can then catch the airport train, but they're all hooked to one another. It's none of this train is here and the airport is 1 mile over there. That just doesn't make any sense. The one thing, if any, that's a little frustrating is they're all on different pay systems. The BTS, the MRT subway, the train to the airport, they all take different cards, unlike cities like, is it Hong Kong? Is that the octopus card? You can use that octopus card everywhere, on a taxi, a bus, a train, a subway, in 7-Eleven. You can use it everywhere. So here we are at Nana. I went one whole stop, which it's a little bit of a waste, but it's still a 5-6 block walk. And in my defense, it's 11:30, and I've been walking around filming since 4 this afternoon. Plus, I had a bunch of pints. So I'm giving myself permission to be lazy and take a train one stop. And again, here's my rabbit card. Just hit the pad. Tells me I have 565 baht left on there. But when you need to put more on there, just go up to the window. You don't need your passport. Just put in 1,000 baht, whatever you want on there, and it'll last another month. Just don't lose the card. Here we are at the Green Room Bar. Let's go see who's playing. Kind of a mellow night. Again, it's Thursday. So there's still time to jump on the train, had a couple more stops closer to home, get off at Prompong, see what's going on in that area. You know what? I think maybe a change of plans. It's about midnight. I think I'm just going to catch the last train back up to Nut. It is hot today. It's still hot at midnight. It's in the 80s, and I've been running around since 3:30 this afternoon. So I'm going to head home and have a nice cool drink. Non-alcoholic. I've did enough of that damage, and do a little editing of some of these videos. Take it easy, and thanks for watching my little channel. If this is something you're interested in, looking around Bangkok and Southeast Asia, this is where I live. I'm running around exploring the area and filming. Consider subscribing.